in time. So for example, the 1 year spot rate is a short rate because it's a 1 year rate. But the interest rate in the second year is also a short rate. The interest rate in the third year is also a short rate. The short rate just means a 1 year interest rate at any point in time. And then the forward rate is a future interest rate. And here there's a bit of and you have to try and wrap your heads around this because they're going to sound very similar. But a forward rate is a future rate of interest, but that is known or that is implied today. So let me try and explain that to you. If I buy a 2-year bond today, okay, and that bond promises me, I'm going to try and illustrate this. Okay. If the 2-year bond yield today is 8%. First of all, let's make sure we understand what that means. It means that if you buy a bond today, you will receive 8% per year for 2 years. You will earn 8% per year for 2 years. That's what a 2-year yield is. Okay. Let's say right now the 1-year yield is 7%. What does that mean? It means a 1-year bond today is paying 7%. Why is this 7 less than 8? Probably because of the liquidity premium. Probably because in order to compensate somebody for agreeing to lock up their money for 2 years instead of 1 year, they're getting a bit of a bonus. So the forward rate is the return that this person is getting, but specifically for the second year. Now you're saying, well, it's 8%. You already said it was 8%. Yes. But what you have to think about is if they would have invested in a 1-year bond, right? They would have earned 7%. Because they invested in a 2-year bond, they're earning 8%. This implies that the return for the second year is about 9%. Why? The only reason they're getting an average of 8% for 2 years is because of that second year. And that's the part that you might have a hard time. You might click with it right away, you might not. But look, if you would have bought a 1-year bond, you would have earned 7%. Because you bought a 2-year bond, so because you added on that second year from now, that's the thing, right? Because from now, you took that risk of saying, hey, I'm already in for the second year. Let's go with 2 years. You got bumped up to 8% in the first year and 8% in the second year. So how much did that second year really give you? It gave you about 9%. It's not exactly 9%, but it's about 9 because the average of 7 and 9 is 8, right? This is what I want you guys to think about. The forward rate is the implied return that you got. It's basically the return that you're getting for that second year because you were willing from now to take the risk and add on that second year from now, okay? So the actual formula for it is here, by the way. So it'd be more like 1.08 squared divided by 1.07 minus 1. Don't worry about it just yet. I just want to show you guys that it's going to be around 9%. It's like 9.009%. Okay? So to summarize, because you invested in a 2-year bond, that second year ended up yielding or will yield 9% interest. And that's it. Okay, that's a forward rate. Okay. It's also a short rate, by the way, because remember the definition of a short rate is simply a 1-year interest rate. But we'll talk later about how the expected short rate and the forward rate are not necessarily the same thing. Actually, we'll talk about that right now. So you have these two formulas here, and when you look at them, they look like they're exactly the same thing. And I don't think you're going to get both of these on the exam. You'll probably only get one of them, but understand that if I'm looking for the expected short rate or I'm looking for a forward rate, mathematically you do the exact same thing. So what's the difference? The expected short rate, let's say I asked you, what is the expected short rate in year 2 versus what is the forward rate in year 2? Why are those two things not the same thing? The forward rate is implied and is known today based on whatever the 2-year yield is, right, in my example. Like I already know today what I'm going to earn in that second year because I know today that if I buy a 1-year bond, like I'm at the market and I'm looking, and a 1-year bond is yielding 7 and the 2-year bond is yielding 8. Those two investments are available to me today. So I can do the math to determine that by buying that 2-year bond, I'm essentially getting a 9% return for that second year. That's a forward rate. The expected short rate is just what do we expect a 1-year bond will pay in the second year? Like if I were to buy a 1-year bond in 1 year, what would I earn on that? That's the expected short rate. Are they the same thing? Not exactly. Typically, the forward rate is higher because of the liquidity premium, because the forward rate is a rate that you earned for having taken on a long-term investment. Whereas a short rate, in the expected short rate 1 year from now is the return you'll earn on a 1-year bond 1 year from now. Now, there is a theory where they are the same. We'll talk about that in a second, okay? So that's kind of what I tried to explain here. Are they the same thing? Not exactly. The expected short rate is the expected 1-year rate in 1 year from now, whereas the forward rate is the return for that second year, but it's implied today, okay? So it's generally a little bit higher because there's a liquidity premium baked into it. So let's go through some of the more common questions, some of the more common things you want to be able to calculate. So we have this table here. It's got some missing values. So what do we have? We have 5 zero coupon bonds, different terms to maturity. We have their price. We have some of their yields. And so the first question is to find the yield on the 2 and 4 year zero coupon bond. So in a question like this, to find the yield on a zero coupon bond, you can use your financial calculator, but you can also use the realized what do they call it? The realized compound yield, I think it was, at the end of the previous chapter. Remember the future value divided by price to the power 1 over n minus 1. This would be probably the fastest way to do it. In all of these cases, the future value or the face value is assumed to be 1,000. So let's say I wanted to find the yield for that second year. I know the face value is 1,000. I know the price today is 865.33. And it's a 2-year bond, so I'm going to put that to the power 1 over 2 minus 1. So the yield on this second year bond is about 7.5%. So the yield on a 2-year bond is 7.5%. If you buy a 2-year bond today, you're earning 7.5% per year for 2 years. Let's do the same thing with the 4-year bond. If you take the $1,000 future value divided by the current price to the power 1 over 4 minus 1, $9.4. Okay, good. So that's that. All right, so that's how you could find the yields on zero coupon bonds. Really easy, using a formula we saw in the previous chapter. Okay, what is the forward rate in year 3? So remember what that means. And you want to think about it this way. And the formula I'm going to use is this formula right here. So hopefully it starts to click. When you want to find the forward rate in a particular year, what you want to compare is the yield you're getting for let's say a 3-year bond versus the yield you get for a 2-year bond. And it's the same thing. The difference really is going to be how much you're getting for that third year. Okay, so I'm going to try and put these kind of one on top of the other. So I've got let's say a 3-year bond right now is yielding 8.3%. So if I buy a 3-year bond, I'm getting a return of 8.3% per year. That's what the yield is, right? Whereas a 2-year bond, if I said, nah, I don't want a 3-year bond, I only want a 2-year bond. Well, you're going to earn 7.5% per year for 2 years. So let's compare. Somebody who is willing to take the risk and buy a 3-year bond today will earn 8.3% in each year for 3 years. More than 7.5% for those first 2 years. And this year, and then 8.3 in the third year as well. So again, it's this third year that they're not only getting the 8.3% for, but they're also getting a bonus on the first 2 years. They're getting bumped up from 7.5% to 8.3% in year 1 and in year 2 because they added on the third year from the start. They took the risk from the beginning of investing in a 3-year bond versus somebody who didn't want to take the risk on that third year. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's the bonus that I'm getting over the life of the bond because I added that third year. So the formula is the following. If I want to find the forward rate for 3 years, 1 plus F3, that's what I'm looking for, okay, is 1 plus the yield on a 3-year bond. So Y, yield, N is, I'm looking for the 3-year, so that's 8.3. To the power, 3. N follow the ends, right? Divided by 1 plus the yield on a 2-year bond, a bond that is 1 year shorter. So 0.075 to the power N minus 1. So again, 2-year. 3-year yield, 3 exponent. 2-year yield, 2 exponent. Okay? And then you just move this one over. So minus 1. Let's see what we get. $9.92. That third year, once you factor in that because I added on that third year, I was able to increase my yield from 7.5 to 8.3 for the first 2 years and get 8.3 in that third year, that works out to that third year earned me an extra 9.92%. That is what I'm earning in that third year. That is the forward rate. That is how much I'm earning in that third year. Got it? It doesn't mean the interest rate in 3 years will be 9.92. And that's the difference between the expected short rate in 3 years and the forward rate in 3 years. The forward rate in 3 years includes a liquidity premium. It includes this bonus for having added, that extra year. Whereas if I just said, what will the interest rate be in 3 years? That's the expected short rate, and there's no liquidity premium baked into that one. Okay, let's do another exercise. This one is similar, okay, but you'll notice a difference. Given the yield on a 3-year zero coupon bond is 8%, so that's the same thing. The yield on a 3-year bond is 8%. The forward rates are 6% in year 1, so F1 is 6%. And the forward rate in year 2 is 7%. What is the forward rate in year 3? So this looks like the exact same question, right? Here's the difference. We don't know Y2. We don't know Y2. I don't know what the yield on a 2-year bond is. I know what the rate is for the first year. I know what the rate is for the second year. So you can still answer the question. I want to show you how to do it. Technically, you can find Y2 because you know what the interest rates are going to be for the next 2 years. So what you want to do here is you're essentially going to find the Y2, the yield on a 2-year bond, guys, is the geometric average of all the short rates. So it's basically this. 1 plus F1 times 1 plus f2. All that to the power of half minus 1. Okay, so let's try that. So 1.06 times 1.07, all that to the power of 1 over 2 minus 1. Does that make sense? Oh, sorry, I missed a bracket. 6.498. So that's the first thing you want to understand, is that the 2-year rate, given that you have these forward rates, is just a geometric average. And you're likely going to be given the formula for the geometric average. Let me check the formula sheets real quick before I lie to you. Let's see. Peanut 385. Okay, formulas for final. Yeah, good. You have a geometric average formula. Now your formula might be given like this: n 1 plus r1 1 plus r2 dot dot dot. Okay, minus 1. If it is, okay, have no fear, it's the exact same thing. So basically it would be that y2 would be, okay, n is 2, 1 plus the first return times 1 plus the second return minus 1, and you would get the exact same thing, 0.0648498. Okay? So in that case, find your yield for a 2-year bond, and then you can use the formula we just did. So now that I know my y2, I can do what I just did, right? I can take my yield on a 3-year bond, which you were told was 8%, divide into the power of 3, divided by 1 plus my yield on a 2-year bond to the power of 2 minus 1. Okay, 1 plus y3 to the power of 3 over 1 plus y2 to the power of 2 minus 1. So you learn two things in this exercise. That the yield on a 2-year bond is just the geometric average of all the 1-year, well, I should say the yield on a long-term bond, so 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, is just the geometric average of all of the forward rates. Okay, and then you can use that to solve a question like this. So let me just work it out. I get about 11%, 11.07% as my 3-year forward rate. Hope I did that right. Yeah. Okay. And maybe just to bring it home, just in case for anybody who's still having a hard time seeing it, they told you that the 1-year forward rate, is just the rate today, is 6%. And the 2-year forward rate, which means the rate of return you're going to earn for the second year, is 7%. So I just computed a geometric average to say, well, this works out to be 6.498% per year. That's the average. If you're getting 6, now you're saying, well, the average of 6 and 7 is 6.5. You're right, but that's an arithmetic average. A geometric average takes into account compounding, so it's always a little bit less. So if you're making 6% in the first year and 7% in the second year, the average that you're making is 6.498% per year for 2 years. So that's your 2-year yield. Cool? If that's not clear, guys, message me, pause the video, immediately DM me on Discord. We'll chat about it. Okay? Put it in the public, put it in our group chat so we can all hear, have the discussion. Good.